Hello everyone, this is Sarah here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's crow pose practice and foundations video. So today I'm going to take you through some exercises to prepare your body, especially your shoulders and your core, to get into crow pose, and then some different modifications and techniques until you can advance yourself into that full extended crow pose. So just follow along with me and take these exercises into your practice, into your flows, so that we can become advanced and experts together. I'm going to start by walking you through some exercises and some form and techniques to get into that crow pose, but to first begin by strengthening the shoulders, the arms, and the core, so then we can go into that inverted position. So the first one I'll show you, we're going to lie on our mat, driving that spine into the mat. Navel is driving against the ground. Placing those knees up at 90 degrees, shoulders backing down. We're gonna bring our feet together and our knees out wide. So start by engaging that core, pressing into the mat, that downward position. Once you're there, we're gonna rise our hands up, wrists using the ceiling as the floor. And we're gonna engage our elbows to knees as if we're in the crow position. And we're gonna start by pressing our knees inward towards each other and pressing our arms out into the knees. Feeling that activation. Still driving the navel into the ground and activating those arms and legs. You should feel those muscles strengthening yet fatiguing, preparing us for our crow pose. When you need to, just relax, give yourself a hug. Another exercise we're going to move into here is going to be our planks. So we really need to focus on being able to get those arms up and holding our weight. So start with the wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. Feet coming out about shoulder width apart, a little wider. We drive that belly button in towards spine. Our back is flat and our neck is in neutral. And you can begin by pressing single leg up and lowering down. So exhale, raise. Inhale, lower. Focus on control and keeping the hips square to the mat without dipping to one side. Another exercise, we're going to drive that knee into chest and hold. And inhale, release. Exhale, drive, hold. Inhale, release. Keeping those wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. And just keeping those muscles tight and engaged. When you need a break, just drop those feet down and press back into child's pose. Our other plank exercise here. Again, wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. This time, feet coming a little closer. We're gonna go into reptile, so right knee comes out to right elbow. Micro bend in the elbows. And exhale, pressing back into downward facing dog. So inhale, shifting your weight forward and driving that left elbow and knee to meet. And exhale, pressing. This one takes control. You'll feel the activation in your arms. See how long you can hold that reptile pose. And find your breath. And when you need to, again, sit back and down into child's pose. Two other exercises to help strengthen, prepare the body. One is a forward fold. So bringing those feet closer into center and folding your body on top. Soft bend in those knees and allow those shoulders to round. You can even take opposite hand to elbow and just rock in to ragdoll. We're focusing on that compression, the upper body onto the lower body. And when you need to, just a soft bend and stand. Our other exercise here, taking our feet out wider, we're gonna go into a yogi squat. So drive those knees out sitting low, heels into the floor, and those arms, elbows within the inside of the legs. Shoulders back and down, and chest is open and proud. And you just find your breath here. Just opens up the legs. Focusing on compression and lengthening. When you need a break, just release it down. So those are different exercises we can do to prepare our bodies and get us ready for our crow pose. And next we're gonna go into some practice exercises. All right, so we're actually gonna use a book here, or if you have a yoga block. I'm just stacking two different books to get us to the height that I will need. So we're gonna start by pressing that back onto the edge of your mat and bringing our weight forward. So you want to perch your feet up onto that block or book. Feet coming together, knees wide. We're going to plant our hands down onto the mat. So wrists in line again, like we did practice before. And you're just going to start to shift your weight forward, shoulders over wrist, and lower back down. Exhale, rising, engaging the fingertips, the palms, and inhale, lowering. Once we're there, we're gonna rise up onto those toes, walk the feet a little closer to edge, and bring our knees to the forearms, and shift your weight forward. Feel that engaging, you're lengthening through the spine, so raise that gaze, lengthen the neck, and drive that navel to spine, and relax. If you need to stretch out those hands, bring those wrists in the opposite direction, massage it out, roll the wrist. And then our next step, again, going to that same position here, so wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. Walking your toes a little further on that perch, knees out wide, but bring those knees higher this time, almost into that armpit area. So we rise. We're gonna practice by lifting one toe up and rise back down to the block. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and rest. You're gonna feel that core working. Open up those legs, stretch it out. Next, we're gonna try rising. So we're gonna plant those hands down, lifting up, and we're gonna raise a foot, followed by the next. Slow and controlled, and get some air. And then lower back down and relax. Then we're gonna move that block aside. Taking it out of our sight here. We're gonna practice two different ways without the block or books. So planting those hands down. Again, soft. Stretch out those wrists if you need to here. We're gonna go back up onto our toes. Bring those feet together, those knees out wide, and we rise. Hands coming close. Knees in line. This is a modification here. We're gonna actually drop our knees wider and bend our elbows. We rise one foot, followed by the next. Find your balance. Using the fingertips, the palms. Neck lengthened and relax. So that time I bent my elbows so my knees could go a little lower down on that arm. Our final crow pose here today. We're gonna practice by lengthening those arms further. So again, feet coming together, rising up. This is our compression like we practiced with that forward fold. So get those knees high, lengthening through the arms, and slow and controlled, rising those feet off the ground. Find your gaze, your neck lengthening, lifting the feet, and lower for rest. Thank you so much for joining me for today's crow pose video. Again, we went through exercises, the foundations, and different modifications. So continue to practice. Again, a yoga is not just an exercise, it is a form of practice. We show up every day for ourselves and put ourselves into those situations. So just continue to use these into your daily routine and work towards that extended crow pose goal. Have a great one, and if you complete any of these exercises, please tag us on Instagram at NU Campus Rec. We'd love to see everything you're doing and how you found us. Have a great one, and I hope to see you again soon.